Ever stop to think about the names we give things? Buildings, companies, even people. They're rarely arbitrary, are they? Often, there's a story, a reason, a connection to something deeper. Tonight, we're diving into a name that might seem commonplace, almost invisible in its familiarity, Roger Bank. Think about it. You've likely heard the term. Maybe in a movie, a book, or even a casual conversation. It conjures up an image, doesn't it? Perhaps a solid, reliable institution. But why Roger? It's not exactly a traditional surname you'd typically associate with a founding family, like a Smith & Sons Bank or Vanderbilt Trust. So, where does this seemingly unassuming name come from? What's the story behind Roger Bank? To unravel this, we need to understand that Roger Bank isn't the name of a single, monolithic financial institution you can find on a map. It's something far more interesting, far more pervasive in our cultural understanding of finance. It's a concept, an archetype, a linguistic shorthand we use to represent a certain kind of financial entity. Imagine a character in a play. They need a name that immediately signals their profession. If they're a doctor, you might call them Dr. Evans. If they're a stern headmaster, maybe Mr. Blackwood. In the world of finance, when a writer, a filmmaker, or even just someone telling a story needs to depict a generic, somewhat established, and perhaps even slightly old-fashioned bank, they often reach for the name Roger Bank. Why Roger, though? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not a name that screams finance in the same way Goldman or Sachs might. It doesn't have the regal ring of a royal bank or the aspirational feel of a global trust. It's just Roger. To understand its significance, we need to delve into the fascinating world of placeholders and generic terms. Think about John Doe or Jane Doe for unidentified individuals. They're not real people, but they serve a crucial purpose in legal documents and hypothetical scenarios. Roger Bank operates in a similar way, but specifically within the realm of finance. One possible explanation lies in the simple fact that Roger is a relatively common and unassuming English first name. It doesn't carry strong connotations of extreme wealth or power, making it a neutral choice for a hypothetical bank. It sounds familiar, approachable, and perhaps even a little bit established. Imagine if the generic bank name was something like Zeus Financial or Thor's Vault. It would carry a completely different weight and feel far less like a typical, everyday bank. Furthermore, the sound of Roger Bank itself is quite neutral and easy to remember. It doesn't have any harsh or particularly distinctive sounds that might make it stand out or feel unusual. This neutrality contributes to its effectiveness as a generic term. It blends into the background, allowing the focus to remain on the fictional scenario rather than the specific, and unimportant, name of the bank. Another potential layer to consider is the historical usage of common names to represent everyday individuals or entities. In older literature and storytelling, common names were often used to create relatable, everyman characters or institutions. Roger fits this bill perfectly. It's a name that wouldn't feel out of place in a historical context, yet it's still familiar enough to a modern audience. Think about other generic terms we use. Average Joe, Main Street, any town, USA. These phrases evoke a sense of normalcy and represent a broader segment of society or a typical location. Roger Bank could be seen as the financial equivalent of these terms, the average, perhaps slightly traditional, bank. It's also worth considering the possibility of a more specific, albeit perhaps now obscure, origin. Could there have been a particularly prominent or often referenced Roger Bank in a well-known piece of literature, a popular film, or even a significant historical event that led to the name becoming a generic placeholder? While extensive research hasn't definitively pinpointed a single Roger Bank that sparked this widespread usage, the power of cultural osmosis shouldn't be underestimated. A recurring name in popular culture, even in a minor role, could gradually seep into the collective consciousness and become a go-to term for a generic entity. Imagine a classic movie featuring a scene where the protagonist needs to visit a bank. The filmmakers, wanting to establish a sense of normalcy without creating a fictional brand from scratch, might have simply called it Roger Bank. If this happened in a sufficiently influential piece of media, the name could have stuck. Similarly, in early financial textbooks or even satirical writings about the banking industry, the name Roger Bank might have been used as a convenient and unassuming example. Over time, through repeated exposure, this could have solidified its place as a generic term. It's also possible that the choice of Roger has a more subtle, perhaps even unconscious, connection to certain positive connotations. While not overtly powerful, the name Roger can evoke a sense of reliability and trustworthiness, qualities one might associate with a stable, if not particularly flashy, bank. Consider the phrase Roger that in military and aviation contexts. It signifies clear understanding and acknowledgement, a sense of order and reliability. While the etymology of Roger that is different, it originates from the phonetic alphabet for the letter R4 received. The association with clear communication and dependability might subtly contribute to the positive, if understated, image of a Roger Bank. Furthermore, the simplicity of the name makes it easily adaptable and understandable across different cultures and languages. It doesn't carry complex linguistic baggage or potential for misinterpretation, making it a safe and universally accessible choice for a generic bank name. Think about the alternatives. Imagine if the generic bank was always called Bartholomew Savings and Loan or Percival Financial. These names are more distinctive and carry a different, perhaps more formal or old-fashioned, feel. Roger Bank, in its simplicity, avoids these potentially distracting connotations. The beauty of Roger Bank lies in its very ordinariness. It's a blank canvas onto which storytellers and commentators can project the general idea of a bank without getting bogged down in specifics. It allows the narrative to flow without the need for lengthy explanations about a fictional financial institution. It's a testament to the power of simple, unassuming language to convey complex ideas. Roger Bank isn't a real place, but it represents a very real concept in our understanding of finance. It's the default setting, the baseline against which other, more specific banks are often implicitly compared. So, the next time you encounter the term Roger Bank in a fictional context, remember that it's more than just a random name. It's a carefully chosen placeholder, a linguistic tool that allows us to instantly conjure up the image of a generic, established financial institution. It's a quiet testament to the power of common names to become cultural shorthand. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.